Yes, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are listening around the world. Welcome back to 12th Man. We have got the Transfer Morning Show that's kind of in the afternoon this time. Apologies for that. I wanted to watch the Champions League draw and see what potentially could happen. So we're going to be talking about that. We're also going to be talking about transfers, of course. We're going to be talking about Arsenal and some of the bids that are or not going in across the globe today and overnight and potentially in the future in the coming hours. So we're going to be talking about that. Big up to every single one of you guys that's here nice and early. Let's say good morning or good afternoon to the chat. William, big up to you. Vinny, Robbo, Tammy, I hope you're well. Helsinki, Suj, I hope you're well, bro. Chris, Hugo, Sean, and everyone else that's watching either on catch up or, of course, that's watching live and it's in the chat. Big up to Steve for joining. Hope you're well, mate. I love this, man. What a name. I'm not going to shout it out, but that's a fantastic name. JT, big up to you. Peter, big up to you. Nando, big up to you, my bro. We've got Robert in the house as well and everyone else joining. Thank you so much for being here. Make sure you hit the like and the subscribe button, people. We are so close, so close to 32K. And I think today we could get it. So please make sure that you hit the subscribe button as well, because right now we are so close to getting to the big 3-2. It's going to be the big 40, if I'm honest, soon. You guys are absolutely mad. So really appreciate it. Only 43 subs needed for 32K. Just 43. So please hit it. I'm sure with nearly 150 of you already in here that we can get that up to 43 or over 43. So let's do it, people. Let's make sure the like button is hit and, of course, the subscribe button is hit as well. Big up to all of you for being here nice and early. I really appreciate all of your support, and I really do love the fact that you tune in. We're building a really nice community here on 12th Man, so really do appreciate every single one of you for jumping on and listening. Look, we're going to get into the Champions League draw first of all, because there's some very interesting news in relation to it. Who says they don't like this new format, hey? Who said they don't like this new format? Look at this. This is the playoff draw in full. So this will be the 16 teams that will go into the playoffs now to face games to try and make the next 8. To join us 8. Yes, we're over here. We are, of course, in the top 8. Before I go on any further, big up to Saeed, my bro, absolute legend. Saeed and Troops Raid, thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate you all for joining. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe, and big up and love to Saeed, man. Absolute hero. Thank you so much for the redirect. I really appreciate it. Big up to Z as well, man. Good win last night, Man United into the last 8 of the Europa League draw as well, bro. I hope you're happy. I know you will be happy. So fair play. Kevin, thank you so much, man. Saeed and Troops Raid. You guys are absolute legends, man. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. We got a new member as well, LFC Sai. I really appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much for that. That does mean a hell of a lot. If you would like to become a member, hit the like and subscribe and click join. Follow the instructions and you can pay a minimal fee monthly to support the content. I really do appreciate you all for doing that. We love all of our members. Big up to you. Really appreciate that. Everyone that's come over from Saeed's channel, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Yeah, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. There's nearly 500 of you that's come over here now, so please make sure you do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. We are going through the Champions League draw, which is absolutely mad right now. So look at this. We've got Brest versus PSG. We've got Club Brugge versus Atalanta, and then we have got the big one, Manchester City versus Real Madrid. Wow. Can we believe that Manchester City have got Real Madrid in not even the last 16, in the new playoff system? Who said they don't like this new format? One of these teams are going out at this stage. That's crazy. Absolutely mad. So Brest v PSG, Club Brugge versus Atalanta, Man City versus Real Madrid. I think Real Madrid win this game comfortably across 2 legs. I really do. The second leg being at the Bernabeu is even better for them, in my opinion. And Manchester City must be thinking, wow, what's happening? How the hell did we pull out Real Madrid? Big up to Saeed. Love my bro. Thank you so much for the raid, man. I really appreciate you. And thank you all of your guys for coming over and hitting that like button. I really appreciate you guys so much. There's over 500 of you in here already. So please do hit the like button. That really does mean a lot. We've only got 67 of you that have hit like, people. There's well over 500 in here. So please make sure you hit that like and subscribe. Please, we're only 43 away from 32k. You guys are mad. Thank you so much. And thank you, Saeed. Love, brother. I hope you're well. So Manchester City, Real Madrid. Woo-hoo! First leg at the Etihad. And at the moment, the way that Manchester City are moving, they'll be shaking. They'll be quaking in their boots. Not because Real Madrid are on fire, because Real Madrid are Real Madrid, man. They're the last team that you want in the Champions League at any stage. You don't want them in your group. You don't want to play them in that new format. You don't want to play them in the last 16 semis, quarters, or final. You want to avoid them at all costs. Anybody that says they want to play Real Madrid are literally giving themselves one of the biggest challenges in the Champions League. 14 Champions Leagues, you know. We haven't even got that amount of FA Cups. We've only got, we have got 14, sorry. So we've got 14 FA Cups. They've got 14 Champions Leagues. It's ridiculous. Absolutely mad. Look, that is going to be the game that everyone's going to have their eyes on. And Manchester City have got to be leading going into the Bernabeu. They've just got to get any chance of going through. So if I had to put my money on it, I'd be putting it on Real Madrid across 2 legs, because at Bernabeu, they've got an unbelievable chance. And this is what I mean. It's 2 more games that people just do not want to play, home and away. They do not want to play that, but they have to. We've got Juventus versus PSV, Monaco versus Benfica, Sporting Lisbon versus Dortmund, which I think is probably the next best draw. Celtic versus Bayern Munich, not the team they would have wanted, but you know what? At least Celtic are still in there. And then Feyenoord versus AC Milan. Now, what's really interesting here is that we can look potentially at who Arsenal might be looking at getting. A reminder, here we go, of who Liverpool, Villa and Arsenal could face. Let's start with Liverpool. I don't know if you can see all this. You might have to put your zoom in a bit, put your phone onto the side, onto landscape. So apologies, but I'll read it out anyway. So we won't know for certain until the draw after the second legs of the playoffs on Friday, the 21st of February. However, the round of 16 could be Liverpool versus PSG or Brest, or Liverpool versus Monaco or Benfica. So one of those 4 teams will be playing Liverpool. Arsenal will have one of Feyenoord, Milan, Juventus or PSV. So, who are we going to get? Who's going to win out of Feyenoord and AC Milan? And who's going to win out of Juventus or PSV? That's what we've got to ask ourselves. We're going to get one of those. I fancy Feyenoord, if I'm honest, to get through. I just think they're playing well and they've surprised. They've continued, I think, from what I can see, to do well without Arne Slot. And AC Milan, as much as I think they're the elite of the Champions League, they're not playing like it at the moment. And I think Feyenoord across 2 legs could actually cause them some damage. So PSV, I don't know what has happening with Juventus, but PSV have actually beaten a last couple of teams to get into this last 16 that I didn't expect them to. So I actually do feel like they could put up listen, both these Italian clubs could go out and Arsenal could get PSV or Feyenoord. I'm going to do it. I'm going to say my prediction is both the Dutch clubs could go through. That's what I'm going to say. And then Arsenal pick up one of them. And if I'm honest with you, I'd rather have PSV, but I'd take Feyenoord as well. And I would actually have faith that Arsenal can beat any 4 of these teams. We should be beating any 4 of these teams. We should quite easily be getting through to the quarterfinals. Looking at that, that is what we should be doing now. And our target should be bare minimum the quarterfinals. And we look then at who we get. Aston Villa, they are going to get one of Club Brugge, Atalanta, Sporting or Dortmund. Now, if I'm honest with you, I think Atalanta will beat Club Brugge. And I also believe that Dortmund will, across 2 legs, beat Sporting. Sporting have not looked good since Amorim's gone, to be fair. So I expect Aston Villa will probably want Dortmund, because that would be an unbelievable away trip. That's the one away trip I want to go to. I really want to go to Dortmund. That yellow wall, it just is unbelievable. Even when they come to the Emirates, it's outstanding. So that is the Champions League. Feyenoord, PSV, AC Milan or Juventus, Arsenal will be looking at. Obviously, Liverpool. If I'm honest, I fancy Liverpool to get Benfica or PSG, if I'm honest. But Brest and Monaco, if you look at the league table, have done very well. So again, you just don't know. You just do not know. And that's the problem. You know, that is the problem. So look, it's going to be one of those that I look at very, 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 very relaxed about when I'm watching these games now. And Arsenal done their job, man. And look, Manchester City are going to be crying. They are, because they don't want Real Madrid. But it's one of those. It's one of those that I get. Um, I get told about, because look, I'm in a I'm in a position where if you do your job, no complaints. If you don't do your job, or you fail to do your job, or you oh my God, we've not quite got where we want to. Oh, now we've got Real Madrid. You can't cry about that. Manchester City at one stage didn't look like they were going through. So they can cry about Real Madrid all they want, but they should have done their job. They were 3-0 up against Feyenoord. Remember that. They drew 3-3. So look, man, like let me just reply to this message because it's important. Here we go. There we go. So yeah, look, it's interesting for me to see what happens. Who do we want? Put in the chat. Who do you want to win that game? Manchester City or Real Madrid? Because I want City. I want City. I really do. Because I honestly I want Real Madrid out. I want Real Madrid out. Sorry, I'm trying to multitask here. I'm doing a really bad job, but it's done now. So look, I want Real Madrid to go out. I want Real Madrid to go out. Who do we want? City to go through. Yeah, agree with that. Real Madrid to go through. Don't agree with that. Suj says City. I want City to go through. Get Real Madrid out. Get them out, man. Get them out. That's what's needed. What a draw. What a draw. I had a feeling, it would be Man City, Real Madrid. And I saw Fabrizio Romano, and it was like Man City, Real Madrid. Boom. Before it had even come out on my end. Man City, Real Madrid. Wow. Unbelievable. That's what it is. We're 34 away from the big 32. 34 subscribers needed, people. Please hit like and subscribe. That's all I need for you to do. Hit the like and subscribe button, please. Okay, this is coming from Suj. He says, so as much as I can understand, the quarters, we could play Celtic, Man City, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Atletico Madrid, or Bayer Leverkusen. Is that right? How do we work that out so far ahead? I'm so confused by this new format still. I've actually got to do more research into it. That does not look like a nice quarterfinals, does it? It could be Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, or Atletico Madrid. Out of those teams, I expect Bayern Munich to beat Celtic, Real Madrid to beat City, and Atletico Madrid to beat Bayer Leverkusen. Is that how it works, Suj? Is that how it works? Honestly, that's not good, man. We're going to get Bayern Munich again in the quarters then, are we? Or maybe we will get Real Madrid ourselves after laughing at City. That's probably what could happen. Who would you want out of them? I mean, obviously, you'd want Celtic or Bayer Leverkusen or City, right? But Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, Bayern Munich. I don't want Atletico Madrid because I think Simeone will mentally destroy us. I don't want Real Madrid because they're the elite of Europe. Maybe we give Bayern Munich another go, right? Out of them, because they're the ones. I think it's going to be those three: Madrid, Munich, or Madrid or Atletico. Oh, that's going to be hard in the quarters again. Maybe we've done Bayern Munich enough. Let's go all out and get Real Madrid, eh? That's probably what'll happen. Like, I don't want any of them. That's tough. That's when it gets tough, though. Quarterfinals, you can't be picky. You can't be fussy. Big up to you, Suze, for working that out, man, as well. I appreciate that. If you do want to become a member like LFC Side, then please make sure that you do. Make sure that you go and click the join button. You can pay a minimal fee content-wise minimal fee monthly for the content if you would like to. But please make sure you hit like and subscribe. Please, 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 please. I would absolutely love to get these likes and the subscribes up. So please make sure that we do that. Right now, we need 29 more people to hit subscribe. Just 29 and we'll hit 32k. Just 29 more people. We've got over 800 in here. So come on, people. Just 29 of you to hit the subscribe button. And then we hit 32k and we're happy. So please make sure that you do that and do support what we do over here at 12th Man. I really would appreciate that. Thank you so much. You're listening. Only 27 people now. Come on. Big up. That's the Champions League then. Just to remind everybody that has just joined, we did go through the proper playoffs. Brest versus PSG, Club Brugge versus Atalanta, Man City versus Real Madrid, the big one that everyone's talking about, Juventus versus PSV, Monaco versus Benfica, Sporting Lisbon versus Borussia Dortmund, a cracking fixture that will be, Celtic versus Bayern Munich, go on Celtic, Feyenoord versus AC Milan, and Arsenal will play one of Juventus, PSV, Feyenoord or AC Milan. I think both the Dutch clubs will go through there. I think both the Dutch clubs will go through, or both the Italian clubs will go through. It'll be like both, I think. Juventus and AC Milan should both win both them games, because if you look at what the Champions League means, and those two clubs, they're huge in that competition. But PSV and Feyenoord are playing well at the moment. They really are. They really are. Let's go to the transfer news. Let's talk transfers. We're going to come to Arsenal because there are some. Before we do that, please make sure you're following Reality Raffles. They've got an unbelievable opportunity to win a brand new iPhone 16 or £600 for cash for yourselves. Reality Raffles, social media, click on the link in the description. It's only 50 pence for a raffle ticket. You can use the code FTM10 to get 10% off as well. Please make sure you're in with a chance to win that. And we have got the Mini Cooper opportunity as well. Just $3.99 for a ticket. 300 instant win opportunities as well. 13k cash. Please make sure you're in with a chance to win either the iPhone or the Mini Cooper. Or perhaps you just want money. £100,000 worth of cash. What would you do with that money? Reality Raffles is where you need to be, people. So make sure that you go over there and take a look. They do concerts, they do stadiums, they do football tours, they do football tickets. Please make sure you go over to Reality Raffles. They've got unbelievable prizes. So please make sure we do that. Big up to LB, absolute legend. LB, you are a hero, sir. He's for the raided me. Thank you so much, man. LB raid. LB Raid, big up LB Raid. LB is one of the real ones, man. Make sure you're following It's LB and More LB. Both his channels are superb. If you want a Manchester City content creator, then please make sure you go over to him, because he, for me, is by far the best. So please make sure you go over to follow LB, and thank you, my bro, for the raid. I really appreciate it. Look, there's nearly 1,000 of you in here. Do me a favor. Please hit the like and subscribe button. At the moment, we're trying to get to 32k. Which is the next target, and we only need 13 more of you. Just 13 subscriptions, 13 subscribe buttons, just 13, and then we hit 32k. That's all we need. Just 13 out of the 975 of you. Just hit subscribe button. 13 people. That's all I need. And then boom, 32k, and we can celebrate it. Big up to you all, guys. Big up to Cooper as well for the super sticker. Really appreciate you, my guy. Thank you so much. Absolute legend. Please hit like and subscribe, and we will get there. Thank you so much for all of your support. Let's get to transfers, because that's why we're here, right? That is why we're here. We've done the Champions League draw. Just 3 more people. 3 more people to hit subscribe. We're at 997, 31,997. Let's get 3 more subscribers, and we can get to 32k. Come on, people. That's all you've got to do. Click that subscribe button, please. We've done it. We've done it. You're legends. 32,009. Woohoo. Big up to every single one of you. 32,000 subscribers. That is incredible. Thank you so much. That means the absolute world. We're trying to get to 40k this season if we can do it. Hopefully we can. If not, we'll do it next season. It's no rush. It's nice to have targets. I'm just glad you're all here. Really appreciate it. Real thanks for the love. Congratulations. Congratulations to all of you guys as well. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And thanks, of course, to my mum as well. Mod mother in the house, moderator, chief moderator, who's been pushing you all to get to 30, let alone 32. So thank you all so much, man. I really appreciate it. Big up to every single one of you. 32k. Wow. Unbelievable. Thank you all so much, man. Really does mean a hell of a lot. But listen, you're not here to listen to me beg for subscribers and likes. You're here, of course, for the transfer news, which we are going to get into now. And we're going to start with Matthias Tell. Now, there's a lot of reports suggesting that Tottenham have agreed a £50 million deal with Bayern Munich for the 19-year-old French forward Matthias Tell. That's come from the Quip over in France. But Manchester United are interested. Arsenal are interested. Chelsea are also interested. We are all waiting in the wings to see what the decision of Matthias Tell is. Now, there are a lot of reports suggesting that Manchester United are actually his preference, but they're trying to still get rid of Alejandro Garnacho. They're aiming to sell this window to bring in Matthias Tell on loan. Now, I don't think Matthias Tell cares how much he is worth or cares if it's a loan deal or a permanent deal. I think Bayern Munich would like it to be a permanent deal. However, Matthias Tell wants to play football. Now, Matthias Tell, I think if he wants to play first team football, I can't see him coming to Arsenal or Chelsea. As much as I think both clubs would be interested in him, he's a young talent. He looks very good. I think he has a hell of a lot of potential. The problem we've got is we have Martinelli and Trossard. So he's not guaranteed first team football under Mikel Arteta there. I think he's potentially got a huge amount of respect to be better than them and get ahead of them. But he's not going to be guaranteed first team football there. At Chelsea, he's also not going to be guaranteed first team football ahead of Jadon Sancho. They've got Pedro Neto. They've got Madueke. They've got Cole Palmer. They're not going to be guaranteeing him first team football either. But Manchester United and Spurs would. Manchester United literally have Amad Diallo. The rest of them are not good enough. They don't rate Rashford. They want him gone. They don't rate Garnacho. They want him gone. That means Matthias Tell would be straight walking in to the Man United team. And then, of course, there's Tottenham. Let's just be real. They've got an aging Son and Timo Werner. He walks into the first team. Son needs to be used at Tottenham now as a sub to be brought on as a forward, or they start him and bring him off. And Timo Werner needs to go back because he is not good enough. I can't believe they've still got him at Tottenham. So he would be guaranteed first team football at both those clubs, but surely he wants Manchester United over Tottenham. If you look at what Manchester United are trying to build with the structure, with Ineos, now with footballing men making decisions, now with a recruitment team that's going to back a Ruben Amorim system that I know can work, I think it would be the best for him to go to Manchester United. But that is only a loan move. Something I think could happen for two reasons. One, Tell would go. Manchester United are happy with a loan. And I think Bayern Munich would be happy with a loan. Because if you look at Bayern Munich's situation at the wide areas, yes, they've got a hell of a lot of wide players. But Serge Gnabry, his future's up for grabs, as is Kingsley Coman and Leroy Sané, who I believe both have contracts that run out this summer. That leaves Michael Olise as the only real winger at the club. So for me, I think you've got to look at this as a good deal for Bayern Munich if it is a loan to Manchester United. Now, of course, once they do that, yeah, he 100% will have a chance of, I think, making that deal permanent if he has a great season. But it's a risk, man. He's 19 years old. He's coming to a new league. It's not a league that he knows very well. So I think it's going to be very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Dan, can you update us on Cambiasso and Manchester City? This is a deal that I believe is probably going to be happening. Let me just search the latest on this because I didn't know it's for this much money. Now, this is a player who's quite versatile and would do well at Manchester City. I think when you look at it, he's a player that can play left wing back, left back, right wing back, right back. Apparently, he can play in defensive midfield as well. So this is a player who I think would be good for Manchester City. Now, City, let's be real, have actually done really well in this transfer window. Done really, really, really well. They've brought in Vitor Hayes, who's a young, promising centre-back. They've brought in Husanov, who I know had a mistake against him against Chelsea, but let's be real, he's a good player. And they've brought in Marmoush, who I think is electric. And now they're going, we believe, for Cambiasso and Douglas Luiz. Now, if they get them two as well, that's got to be one of the best January transfer windows in the history of football. Like, real talk, that is an unbelievable transfer window. They've got two young centre-backs that can help their aging centre-backs out. They've got an elite-level baller in Marmoush, who's been on fire in Europe. And they go and sort their two midfield situations out with Cambiasso, who's versatile and can play fullback, and Douglas Luiz, who's Premier League proven, knows Manchester City as he was there as a youngster, and clearly did very well at Aston Villa. That's the Rodri replacement right there. Him and Kovacic could actually do quite well in the middle. Cambiasso as well if he was to come there. Now, I can't see any latest on Cambiasso. There's a lot of reports suggesting that it's around £67 million that's going to be happening soon from Juventus. That's what I'm hearing. That's a lot of money. But you know what? If it's a player that takes them to be a kind of potential Rodri replacement, you're going to be doing it, right? That's what I would say. So very, very interested to see what happens with that one. So I hope that gives you a bit of an update. Next, we're going to be talking about this guy because wow. What are we hearing here? A lot of reports are suggesting that Al Nassr, who have just signed Duran, are also now planning to make a second and final offer for 27-year-old Brighton and Japanese winger Mitoma, worth £90 million. 9-0, not 1-9, 9-0. That is phenomenal. Now, I like Mitoma. I think he's a good player. He's nowhere near 90 million. Brighton, in the next two windows, could be making 200 million off of Baleba and Mitoma. Two players that are unproven, that haven't won anything, in the game. That some have said in the chat now, fairly overrated with both. I like both, and I think both of them would walk into Arsenal. However, my goodness, 200 million. That is how mad the market has gone, people. That is how mad the market has gone. We are talking about two players that play for Brighton that they are saying is worth £190 million for both of them. Baleba and Mitoma. They're not worth that. They're not worth that. It's absolutely mad. It's crazy, in fact. What is going on? Look, I think he's a good player, Mitoma. I think Baleba looks a baller. But really? Wow. That is mad money from Saudi. And these Saudi clubs are actually not only giving a hell of a lot of money to say we have to accept it, they're putting the clubs in a little bit of jeopardy as well, because it's like we can't say no to that money, but we've got to try and replace Mitoma, who's one of our best players, who's ready now. Now, I'm sure they'll do that, don't get me wrong, with a 90 million, but it doesn't give him much time, does it? Does not give him much time. Brighton, by the way, are one of the best run clubs. I mean, when they started selling Bissouma and they sold Ben White and they sold Trossard and they sold like Lallana and all these guys, I'm thinking, yeah, you know what? Fair play. But let's be real. Yeah, not Lallana. What did I say Lallana for? There was someone else I was mentioning. Lallana's there now. I can't remember what I was saying. My point is, they started to do that and I thought, yeah, they're quite a well-run club. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, nah, their recruitment's mad. Cucurella, Caicedo, Alexis McAllister. And now, Mitoma and Baleba? Come on. Brighton have done it again. Yes, they have. Let's talk about Aston Villa, because this could be a huge bit of news for what happens with Arsenal. So we're going to talk about this first, because apparently Marco Asensio from PSG is one of a number of attacking players that Aston Villa are interested in before the transfer window closes. Now, they have £77 million, so everybody knows they've shown their hand. 29-year-old Asensio was going to be the next best thing, but he has not been. He's been an okay player. But Aston Villa are interested in Marco Asensio. Now, Duran has gone. They have got attacking players. They've got McGinn, they've got Bailey, they've got Ramsey, they've got now Marlon. They're linked with Matthias Tell. They're linked now with Marco Asensio. And they're also linked with both Cunha, who they believe they're going to make an audacious bid for. They're considering it. That's come from The Guardian. They're considering a bid for 25-year-old Brazil striker Cunha, as well as Marco Asensio. And they're also interested in João Felix from Chelsea. Now, this could be very interesting. If Aston Villa are going to use that money to add to what they've got this January transfer window for their spend and bring in Marco Asensio, Cunha, and João Felix, I truly believe if those three were all to come in, they might sell Ollie Watkins. This could be a mad ending. If Aston Villa are serious about João Felix, who they rate around £30 million, Cunha, who likewise they think will probably be around £50 million, and Marco Asensio, who at the moment they're looking at and they're interested in bringing in, I don't think he's going to be a hell of a lot of money, if I'm honest. They could spend about 100 million on those three players and look to sell Ollie Watkins to Arsenal. Now, if they are as serious as we believe them to be, they can't get rid of Watkins and Duran and just bring in someone on loan. They've got to go and make a serious investment in a couple of players. Now, I like Asensio as a player, but I don't think he's anywhere near the level he was hyped up to be. I don't mind João Felix as an attacking 10, but for me, I don't think he's outstanding. I don't think he's next level. He's not better than Gerardo Watkins, neither is Asensio. And then Cunha, who we've seen this season finally for Wolves, has started to break through and be the creative spark and the goal scorer that they want him to be. Is he better than Watkins? So I think there's a downgrade. You're bringing in those three for the price of the two. I think those two are better. I think Aston Villa, much as exciting for the business and the transfer window, I think they're downgraded, if I'm honest with you. For me, I would rather keep Wally Watkins and Duran. Like, seriously, I would. I would. That's what I'm saying. João Felix has been a target for Emery for a while. He's only 25, believe it or not. Chelsea have not really been able to get first-team football for him. I don't think there's been any opportunities for him elsewhere outside of Europe either. And there's definitely not been any opportunities in Europe for him to blossom. It's not really been a player that I thought was going to be next level. When I heard about him and started to watch him, I thought, he looks all right. But all right was not never going to be good enough. It really wasn't. Suj, big up to you, bro. I did get something, but I've got problems with my phone at the moment. But once I do open that, I shall at least give it a read. I'm not going to do it live because I'll embarrass myself and I'll probably take forever to read it and understand it. But thank you so much for that, mate. I really do appreciate it. So I'll give that a read and I can have a chat later on. Let's talk about this guy before we go to Arsenal, move to Arsenal. Evan Ferguson. Now, apparently, Everton are interested in Evan Ferguson. They're weighing up a late bid for him. He's only 20. He is, of course, playing for Brighton, and he's a Republic of Ireland international. Evan Ferguson is a guy that Arsenal have been linked with also. Fulham have been linked with. West Ham have been linked with. And now Everton, of course. Bayer Leverkusen were looking at Evan Ferguson to be taken on loan if they were going to be selling Boniface, which is a striker Arsenal have been looking at as well, apparently. Or a lot of fans have said, would you take Boniface? Would you take Boniface? Because we're looking at him now. Look, I think we're looking at everybody. Everybody. I can see West Ham getting this one done, if I'm honest. Everton, of course, are linked. Fulham are linked. West Ham are linked. Graham Potter. West Ham need a striker. London move. First team football. I can see it happening for him. I think it would be a good signing. I don't want him at Arsenal, personally. Watkins is the one at the moment that looks most likely to happen. Gyökeres is the one I do want. Osimhen would be my next option. After that, it's going to be a Watkins, if I'm honest, if I had to pick one, right? The player I don't want is this guy. Now, everybody I speak to is expecting Arsenal to go in with a late bid with this one. Everybody I speak to, even if we get Watkins, they're still expecting Rashford to come in on loan. They're still expecting it. They're still expecting Neto to be sent back to Bournemouth so we can loan another player and Rashford comes in as that loan player. That's what I think every Arsenal fan is dreading, but also kind of expecting. I do not want Marcus Rashford. I do not want him. I can't stress it enough. I can't be more blatant and more honest. I can't be less subtle. I do not want Marcus Rashford. Yeah. And now people will click me up saying that because on the last day of the window, we're going to be bloody signing him, aren't we? Now, look, it looks like European clubs are circling. It looks like Barcelona are interested. Dortmund have been interested. AC Milan have been interested. But he's still at Manchester United. Now, Manchester United have got themselves in a bit of a pickle, and so has Marcus Rashford, because, yes, Manchester United want to sell, but the wages they put him on have, unfortunately, not done him any favours. So, look, we're in a position where Marcus Rashford could be available, but who's going to pay his wages? Manchester United are going to have to pay £250,000 a week for this guy to allow this guy to move, because no one's going to be paying him more than 120 a week. It's absolutely crazy that this guy is on that amount a week. That is why he's finding it difficult to leave. And I think there's not even there's actually a possibility he could stay at Man United. Yeah, let's just be real. Let's just be real. I get this a lot. He's better than what we've got. Do you know what? I'd rather have Trossard and Martinelli than Rashford. I would. If we get Ollie Watkins, we get Havertz, we got Sterling, Saka, Waneri, Trossard, Martinelli. We don't need a Rashford. We don't need a Rashford. Nah. Big up to you, Brandon. Make sure you're following Brandon on True Gunners TV. Don't worry, Dan. Arsenal are going to do what they do best. Absolutely nothing. Yeah, it seems that way, my bro. Cal's Corner says, after Saliba's comments on trophies, I'm so scared that our best players are going to move on soon. The owners have written off the season, so it's next or nothing. Bruv, this is a problem. This is a huge problem because Saliba, quite rightly, at 23 years old, wants to win trophies. He knows for a fact, he's not stupid, that Real Madrid want him in the summer. He knows for a fact that Real Madrid need a centre-back. And he also knows for a fact that they are the biggest club in the world of football and guarantee you trophies. So when you are a player of that age, a player of that quality, a player who's wanted by the biggest club in the world, a player that knows the history of Real Madrid and knows that they were wanted, and a player that in that position right now is wanted position at the club, those 6 things you're going to weigh up and go, interesting. Now, look, I think we're safe with Saliba for now, but he has to sign a new contract after this season ends for us to be keeping him past 2027. Because if he doesn't sign this summer, we have to sell him next season because he's going to walk for nothing like Trent does otherwise. So we have to sign. We have to sign him. So, look, that's where I'm at. That's what I'm at. That's what I'm at. Nick says, look, Dan's so focused on us getting Watkins. I don't actually want Watkins. That's not the one I want. I'm focused on it because it's the rumour. Don't think it's happening the slightest. He's Villa's main man. I agree. I don't think that he is going to go to Arsenal. I really don't. Because Aston Villa, why would they sell? The only reason they would sell is if they are to pick up Felix, Cunha, and Asensio, who they're linked with. And I think they'd need all 3 to allow Watkins to go. They would. But is Cunha going to be their 9 to replace Watkins? Are they going to sell Wolves? Felix, is he going to be the replacement? Is Asensio and Felix enough to replace Duran and Watkins? Not for me. Not for me. But look, I'll take him. I'll take Watkins. He doesn't excite me. He doesn't take me to the next level. It's not like, wow, we've got Isak, we're ready to go. But he's better than what we've got, right? He's better than what we've got. I want Victor Gyökeres or Victor Osimhen. They're the 2 that I would say that, yes, I would take. But for me, it ain't going to be them. Let's talk about it. Look, he's linked with Arsenal. The bid went in. I don't know how much it was. Some reports suggesting it was 60. Other reports suggesting it was closer to 45 with add-ons. I think 60 million is about right for Ollie Watkins. But in this market, you're going to have to pay more than that. He's 29. He's Premier League proven. The stats don't lie. He scores goals. He's been fantastic. And he is a Premier League proven centre forward. That would be a good signing at Arsenal. He would be an upgrade. He would be better than Havertz. He would score goals. And I think if he was to replicate the form that he's shown at Aston Villa in the last 2 or 3 seasons, he'd probably come now in January. And if he stays fit and plays every game for Arsenal, he'll probably get 10 to 15 goals. That's the sort of player that he is in all competitions, that is, by the way. That's the sort of player that he is. So, look, I think it'd be good. I think we need a player of that level. But really, is he the last missing piece of the puzzle? I'm not going to care about his age because 29, Ian Wright and Aubameyang come to Arsenal at 28, right? And they're 2 of the best goal scorers Arsenal have had. So Watkins could replicate that. If Watkins doing that at Villa, what could he do at Arsenal? With Odegaard and Saka behind him, Martinelli, all these guys. Yeah, he could definitely bang. But he's wasteful as well, you know. He's not as clinical as people think. He can miss chances. We saw him miss a silly penalty the other night. We saw him miss 2 against Arsenal at Villa Park that were pretty much open goals. One with a header, one with his feet. Scuffed them both wide. The other one he put right into the palms of Raya. For me, I think he's good. But is he next elite level? Does that signing make everybody around Arsenal go, Arsenal going to win the league? I don't think it does. I don't think it does. But I'm a big fan. I like him. I've always liked Watkins. I've always thought he's a good player. I don't really care that he is and isn't an Arsenal fan. A lot of people love that. For me, I just want him to play well. I don't care that he's an Arsenal fan or not. It's great because it means he loves the club. It's his dream move. He's at 29 thinking this is probably my last chance or my only opportunity. So I'm going to go and take it. We believe that he's told Aston Villa he wants the move. Aston Villa are now scrambling around for another striker because they've sold Duran, thinking that he was going to be their main man. But I don't think Unai Emery will keep or want to keep someone who has been or doesn't want to be there. That's what I would say. That's what I would say. So it could be very interesting. Very, very interesting. So that's where we're at with Arsenal. There's no other news on wingers. There's no other news on midfielders, defenders, or of course goalkeepers. We are rumoured to be considering about what we do with Neto. If we do want to loan someone, Neto or Sterling will have to be called back. And I don't think, from what I understand, Sterling's can be cancelled. So it would be Neto that we did cancel if we wanted to bring in Evan Ferguson or Rashford on loan. I don't want that. In defence, Kieran Tierney and Zinchenko are both being linked with moves away, but it is very unclear whether that's going to be a summer move or a winter move in this window. Now, Kieran Tierney is a free transfer in the summer, we believe, and it will be Celtic that he goes to, but they are quite keen to push that forward. I don't think we want to let anyone go at the moment because we're so short. So I think that's the reason that we're holding it up. Zinchenko, likewise, is linked with Borussia Dortmund. Whether that will be allowed this window or not is another question mark. And Kivior is linked with a lot of Italian clubs. Whether that is allowed this summer or this window is, of course, the question mark. So for me, I wouldn't surprise me if we keep all of them. In midfield, Jorginho has been loosely linked with rumours to Palmeiras, and Brazil clubs are looking at him for this window. But I think Mikel Arteta wants to let him see out his contract, as Thomas Partey likewise. The wide men, Jesus is injured. Sterling, we're loaned until the summer. And then, of course, we're linked with Matthias Tell. But I think he's rumoured to go to either Tottenham or Manchester United ahead of us because he wants first-team football, where he's guaranteed it there and not so much at Arsenal. And as for the striker position, of course, is Ollie Watkins. If I had to put money on it, I would say we don't get anyone. And that's really negative, isn't it? But I've just got to be realistic. If I had to put money on and it had to be a player, I'd throw it on Watkins because it looks like that's the guy that we want. But have we waited this long, 5 years, for Ollie Watkins up front? Have we waited 31 days in January and Watkins is deciding to be our man? Why did we not bid for Ollie Watkins in the first or second week of the window? Why did we do that? We waited too late and it's kicked us in the arse. It's bit us in the backside. It's backfired. Why? Because Duran's been allowed to leave. Now, I'm not saying we should have gone for Duran because he never would have come to Arsenal after what they're offering him over in Saudi Arabia. But we should have been quicker, been more proactive. But we waited and we divvied and we dallied. And now we might not get anyone. Crazy. And then people that are so positive about what we do, whether it be the board, the ownership, the manager, the players, anything around the club. I can see why we've done that. The reason we've done that is, the excuse for that is, actually, what that means is, what you need to do is excuse the fact that this happened. No, I'm done with excuses. We've had a poor window. The summer and the transfer window have proven why we are so incompetent when it comes to recruitment. We're at a level with Jason Ato at the job. We've got an ownership that has no ambition. We've got a manager at the moment that doesn't know who to pick between Sterling or a young 17-year-old, and we're still not doing anything. Absolutely mad. By the way, the answer is play the 17-year-old because he's a baller. And again, just like years ago, Arteta's looking for an answer, and what does he do? Somebody called Bukayo Saka bursts onto the scene. Martinelli's on the other side, and Smith Rowe's through the middle, and he's like, wow, I've been saved. What happens this season? He's saved by two 17-year-olds, Miles Lewis-Skelly and Ethan Nwaneri. And our board are going, whoa, that saved us 100 million. That's a £50 million left back and a £50 million winger that we don't have to worry about. Brilliant stuff. Now, any other owner would go, do you know what? That saved us 100 million. Let's spend that 100 million now and get a proper forward in. But our ownership sit back and go, whoa, this youth academy is sorting us out. Order another meal, love. Order another handbag for yourself, darling. Let's get us another what do you call it? Boat for a rod. It's just a joke, man. Absolute joke. I can't stand this ownership, man. They're absolutely crazy. To spend £200 million of their own money in 17 years and people tell me they're ambitious. Yeah, do me a favour, mate. Do me a favour. Absolutely ridiculous. That's what it is. Let's go through some of the other transfer news then, shall we? Let's go through what's happening in the world at the moment. I quite like Transfer News Live. Let's go for that one. Let's refresh it to get it updated. And let's see what it says, shall we? Right now. Okay. A summer move for Sporting Lisbon player Giovanni Quenda. He will join Manchester United in the summer for around 50 million. The transfer is certain, 100%. Take a look at what will happen in the summer with these transfers. It wouldn't surprise me if he follows, Diamande follows, Victor Gyökeres follows. I'm expecting them to do a bit of an Ajax and Ten Hag here and get who Amorim wants from that league. I expect that to happen. That was 3 minutes ago. Next move is, as things stand, Chelsea have blocked the departure of Disasi to Aston Villa. Now, Chelsea are struggling at the back. I don't rate this Disasi. I think he's a disaster, if I'm honest with you. I think he's absolutely terrible. But they blocked it, and Aston Villa really badly wanted him. So, yeah, that could be quite an interesting move. Let's see what happens there. West Ham, they're set to sign Artur Cabral from Benfica. 18 million fee for the striker. That's interesting for the Evan Ferguson news because they've been trying to put in a bid. I think they went for Pepe as well from PSV. West Ham, because of Antonio's injury, they do need another striker badly. They've literally got Fulkrug and Ings. That is it. And they're not firing at all. I don't know much about Cabral, if I'm honest with you. I don't know how many goals he scored for Benfica. If he's going for 18 million euros, I can't imagine he's going to be a top striker. Let's have a look. Cabral. Arthur Cabral. He has got this season, stats-wise, he's got 2 goals in 15. Last season, he got 6 goals in 28. At Fiorentina, he's doing similar numbers. But over at Basel in Switzerland was where he got his most goals. 14 in 26, 18 in 33, and 14 in 18. But that was back in COVID times. So he's a player that I don't know much about. He's 26. Maybe it'll be a good signing for West Ham. Maybe they can settle him. So we'll see. Chelsea are interested in the Dortmund goalkeeper. Oh, my God. They're getting another goalkeeper no one really knows. Kobel. Any move is more likely to happen in the summer. Chelsea need a goalkeeper. They need a goalkeeper like Costa. They need a goalkeeper like Michael Magnon. They need a Jan or Black. They need an Emi Martinez. They need somebody of that level. And they're getting another goalkeeper that, let's be real, is not going to be top level. It's crazy what they're doing over there. Apparently, Al Hilal have made a mega offer for the Real Madrid winger Rodrigo as a replacement for Neymar. Now, they're wanting to replace Neymar with so many players. Let's be real. You're saying the goalkeeper's quality. Listen, if he's a good goalkeeper, then fair play. I don't know anything about him. So he'd be better than Sanchez. Let me tell you that. He is absolutely awful. Another goalkeeper. 10 goalkeepers that'll be now Chelsea have signed. 10 goalkeepers. He does look like Jan Vertonghen. He does. He looks like Jan Vertonghen. That's a great shout. That is a great shout. Better than Raya, apparently, this goalkeeper is. Wow. Fair play. If he's better than Raya, he'd be a good signing then, won't he? They want... I don't know who they want, really, this Al Hilal. They want to replace Neymar, but are they going to get Salah? They're going to get Rodrigo. They're going to go and get somebody from one of the Europeans elite. I don't know, if I'm honest with you. I don't know, is the answer. So, interesting. Here we go. Next, João Felix. Yes, we've mentioned him. Target for Villa. Villa considering a late Cunha bid. We've discussed that. Rennes are competing with Juventus for Kevin Danso, a player that is wanted for around £22 million. Oh, they're trying to compare Mbappe and Rafinha there. Here we go. Rashford to Barcelona is still on. United have held last-minute talks with Barcelona for a loan deal. It would be a good move. I don't know if it would be a good move for Rashford's first-team football when they've got Rafinha and Lamine Yamal. So, yeah, I don't know what's going to happen there. But Rashford to Barcelona is still on. Conceição has already made players unhappy in the AC Milan locker room. Obviously, Morata has gone to Galatasaray, which could leave the door open for Osimhen. Jordan Henderson regrets his request to leave Ajax now, wants to stay at the club. He was very close to moving to Monaco. I even forgot that he was there. Lyon have appointed Fonseca as their new head coach. Who was he at before? Was he at Lille? That's an interesting move. Very interesting move. Leverkusen has signed Hermosa on loan from Roma. Yep, we saw that one. Here's the plans about Mitoma for £90 million. Everton, we mentioned, weighing up a move for Evan Ferguson. Asensio, we said, is one of the players that Aston Villa are looking at. Ollie Watkins would be keen or open to joining Arsenal this month, but Villa are determined to keep the 29-year-old. This is the thing. Villa want to keep him because he's their main man. But if he wants to go, you've got to let him go. You can't keep him unhappy, can you? That's what I believe anyway. Okay. Matthias Tell would prefer a move to Manchester United over Arsenal, Chelsea and Tottenham. And he's waiting to see if United's interest is concrete before making a decision. This is what I mean. Tottenham are favourites because they're the ones that are in the pole position. Doesn't mean that Tell wants to go to Tottenham. He's weighing up his options. Manchester United, however, we believe will only be putting in a bid for him or an offer for him on loan if they sell Garnacho to Napoli or Chelsea. So in the coming days, they need Garnacho gone. Lamine Yamal renew his Barcelona contract when he turns 18. He'll earn $8 million a year and become the highest paid in the squad after Lewandowski and Frankie de Jong. Wow, what a player he is, by the way. What a player. Absolute baller. Saudi clubs have shown interest in Christensen in the last few hours. Wow, forgot about him. Henderson, we know about. Washington's loan to Santos from Chelsea is done. Don't know anything about Washington from Chelsea. I don't know if he's going to be next level or if he's just going to be one that is a bit of a Marquinhos. We've got Galeno signed today with Al Hilal from Porto, 50 million. Juventus ready to push ahead as well for Marcus Rashford. So he's going to go abroad, isn't he? He's going to go abroad. Thank God. Real Madrid will look to sign Kimmich if they fail to reach an agreement to sign Trent. They'll probably end up with both, that means, because it's Real Madrid. Chelsea dropped their interest in John Duran after carrying out checks on his temperament and character. Yeah, a lot of people talked about that. I don't know how people know much about his temperament, but Chelsea have made inquiries to Brighton about Baleba and Rutter. Jorginho Rutter, I'm not too sure about, but definitely Carlos Baleba. He looks like a very good player. Very good player. And Manchester City, I think, are interested. United have held talks with Tell's agent today. They're active in the race for him, considering a loan bid. So again, that could be really interesting. Rashford won't take a wage cut to leave United this month. God, he might need to. He's on 375,000 a week. It is ridiculous. Galatasaray failed with a bid for Osimhen. This is interesting, this Osimhen one. Osimhen and Gyökeres, nobody is talking about these two. Why? Why is nobody talking about these two? These are the two that we absolutely need to be talking about. They're the two that I would look at Arsenal right now and say, yes, go get them. They're the two I'd look at. Go and get them. Go and get Osimhen. Go and get Gyökeres. Go and get one of them guys to fire Arsenal to the next level. And people might look at that and say that's more of a risk than Watkins because Watkins is Premier League proven. Well, they're younger. They're proven at club level and in Europe. They're proven at country level. Watkins has only just got into the England setup and scored his first 1 or 2 goals. You've got him playing for Villa and only just playing Champions League football this season. The other guys have been doing it for longer and they're younger. So that's why they would be more exciting, in my opinion, Osimhen or, of course, Victor Gyökeres. Ollie Watkins is a good player, a Premier League proven player. But does he take us to the next level? I'm not sure. Apparently, Brighton have rejected a second bid of 75 million for Mitoma. Wow. Wow. I can't believe they're rejecting that much money. They must know that they're going to go up to nearly 100 million. It's crazy. Big up to the super chat. Thank you so much. Neville's insulted the fans to the nth degree. Ban him from the stadium. Honestly, put me in the room with him. I'll show him an entitled fan. Yeah, look, he said that Arsenal fans are entitled. If I'm honest with you, mate, I don't care what Neville says. Neville's like a good pundit, but it goes over my head when he talks about fans or if he talks about Manchester United because he's waffling. Jamie Carragher, likewise, when he talks about Liverpool, is just waffling. They're way too emotionally attached to both the clubs to be talking sense. They are, which is why I like Roy Keane, because he says it how it is. He talks about how crap Man United are. He's not afraid. He's not afraid. He doesn't care that he might not be welcomed back at the club. I wish more pundits were like that. We've got a lot of them in the Arsenal fan base. I'm not going to say who they are. They all know who they are. They're in the media, bigging up Arsenal, saying how great they are so they can get a job there one day. I understand it. They've got to pay the bills. I'd do the same if I worked there. I'd have to. Yeah, life is more important. That's why I'd never get into that role. I couldn't. I couldn't get into that role. I couldn't get into a journalist role. I couldn't sit there in a press conference with Mikel Arteta. I like to do YouTube because I like to say how it is. Not, oh, I better say that because they might like to hear that, or oh, I better not be able to say what I really think of that because I won't be allowed in the press office again. I wouldn't be able to do that. I don't know how people do it. I admire them for it, but for me, how anyone can stick up for these windows is just beyond me. How anybody can think these last two transfer windows have been brilliant from the club. It's just beyond me. I mean, we saw people giving it an 8 out of 10 in the summer. Remember that, people? Yeah. 7 and 8 out of 10. I think judges give it a 7. I'll be having words with him later. I'll tell you that. I'm on show with him at 5. I'll be having words with him later. 7 out of 10. I can't believe that he admitted that he gave it a 7 out of 10. Wow. Absolutely mad. I gave it a 4 and I afterwards said, actually, that's a bit high. Oh dear. This one's -3, by the way. Absolutely mad. Absolutely mad. Anyway, listen, people, stay tuned because it's going to send you over to Deluded. Deluded Guna and myself will be talking about transfers. So please make sure that you go and join us over there. Make sure you hit a like on this one. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Please make sure that you are doing both of those things. Thank you so much for 32k. It really does mean a hell of a lot. Make sure that you're following Reality Raffles. Make sure you've gone over there on socials and get yourself in for those prizes. Amazing prizes up for grabs. So please make sure that you come follow us now. Stay tuned. It will send you straight over there to Deluded Gooner, and we'll see you next time. Big up, people.